Hi there. Um, Again, a book update. Finding lots and lots and lots of books. Uh, Goodwill is just amazing like that. Really interesting books this time. And before I start, I just wanted to say that I've been asked, why don't I do any more movie updates? Quite simply, I haven't bought a DVD or Blu-ray in months. I'm um, sort of looking at my collection, going through it, and I'm selling off a immense portion of it. Uh, I had three bookcases filled with DVDs. I want to make it one bookcase, and then keep that, and maybe slowly buy some stuff and get rid of other stuff. I just don't want so many movies. Hardly watch them. More interested in books and music. So, movie updates, sorry, it's not going to happen anytime soon just because I don't buy movies anymore. Um, yeah, sorry. But I do have books, quite a lot again, and some really cool finds. Like this one. This was a great find. It's a Taschen book called Manga. And what it is basically a book that features tons and tons of graphic artists from Japan and the work they did. And it's a heavy, heavy book. Uh, it's got classic Japanese art. It's focusing on the violent art, the sexy art, which I'm not going to show. Um, the more famous art. Oops, there we are. This is from uh, Katsuhiro Otomo, who did the Akira um, comic books and movie. And it just is filled with information on the artists, our artwork, and some of them, the drawings are just freaking amazing. I hope this all picks up to pretty good. It's basically an overview on what there is in the Japanese comic book world, which is lots and lots of fantasy, lots of classic, samurai art, and comedy and eroticism in all its aspects. It comes with a DVD, so I did buy a DVD actually. It's got a couple of interviews with some of the artists in here, and there's a lot of artists. Let's kind of show it. Those are artists, and you got more artists, and more artists, and more artists. So it's a lot of artists. And I'm interested in manga, anime, even though I don't buy it a lot. But a book like this was €3. Killer find. Picked up another book by Stephen King. This is 4 Past Midnight. It has the stories. Where is it? The Langoliers, Secret Window, Secret Garden, Library Policeman, and The Sundog. So it's 4 different stories. It's the hardback from 1989. If I'm not mistaken, 1990. And I like collecting Stephen King, so had to pick it up. Picked up this Dutch book by a guy called James Worthy. I don't know where you can find his name on this book, but yeah, it's somewhere there. And the title is it's James Worthy. So it's a very egocentric book by a guy called James Worthy, writing a book called James Worthy about a guy called James Worthy. I've read somewhere that it gets compared to Charles Bukowski. Uh, I don't know, but it's about drinking and drugs and just screwing around. Um, but apparently his writing style is pretty cool, so I had to pick it up. I really like the different fonts on the cover. At the same um, Goodwill that I picked that one up, I also picked up this one. I wish it was the English version, but it's not. It's the Dutch version. But still, this is originally called The Death of Bunny Monroe, and it's by Nick Cave. Yeah, the Nick Cave. This is his second book, I think. His first one was released in the late 80s. This one came out in 2009. Um, and it's filled with alcohol abuse and sex addiction, and again, into the territory of Charles Bukowski. But uh, apparently, this is supposed to be really interesting. Irvine Welsh has a quote on it. Irvine Welsh. He says, "Put Cormac McCarthy, Franz Kafka, and Benny Hill in a beach house, and they would probably come up with something like Bunny Monroe." So, really, really interested in that. Pick this one up, The Roaches Have No King by Daniel Evan Weiss. It's got a quote on here. It says, "The most imaginative and complex novel since Patrick Süskind's Perfume." I don't know, but it is basically about roaches that revolt against the new owner of the apartment where they live, because the woman that starts living in the apartment has a tendency to clean everything, and the roaches don't like that. So this was an interesting concept, and I want to read it. So, and for €1.50, I can. Also picked up Poppy Shakespeare by Claire Ellen, which I don't know nothing about except that it kind of reminds me of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it gets compared to it if you sort of mix it with Catch 22. Looks interesting. Like the cover, the girl with the dog face. Yeah, I'm intrigued. So if you have read this, let me know what you think of it. This one I didn't pick up at a Goodwill. I picked this up at a secondhand bookstore. I was basically looking for other books, but I found this one. Player One by Douglas Coupland. I love Douglas Coupland. He is one of my favorite writers, and I totally missed out on this book. This came out in 2000, I think 2010, yeah. And I totally missed out on it. He's coming out with a new book this year, which I pre-ordered. I only do pre-orders of new books by certain authors, but Douglas Coupland is just amazing. I'm really happy that I found this, which is a story that takes place on the brink of an apocalyptic ending, and a couple of people are trapped in a cocktail lounge at an airport. So, sounds interesting. I just mentioned Patrick Süskind's Perfume, and I picked up a copy. This is, of course, turned into a movie about this guy who he cannot smell, or he has sorry, he has an extreme sense of smell, and he wants to create the perfect perfume or something like that. Strange novel. The movie was very interesting, but it wasn't one of my favorites. But yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's a book about obsession, and I'm intrigued. It's been mentioned by a lot of people as their favorite book, so we'll see. Also, I picked up Paul Auster's Oracle Night. Last time I showed a graphic novel based on a book by him, and now I saw a book by him, so I had to pick it up. Interesting concept. Uh, yeah, a guy who gets obsessed with a blue notebook. So, obsession. Some classics. This is Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, which is a very short novel, but it's a classic novel, again, about obsession, I guess. But yeah, this is, when I saw this, I just had to pick it up. I'm really interested in classic novels like that, or like this. This is Dostoevsky, very sophisticated literature, I guess. But it's notes from underground, which apparently is one of his darker novels. I don't really know much of his work except he wrote War and Peace, but this is a lot less thick, and the concept, interests me. So I had to pick up that. Also picked up a copy of War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This is either late 60s, no, it's mid 60s, 1964. It's a mid 60s edition. Like the artwork on the cover, there is HG, and it's Penguin. Penguin's always a good publishing company. This looked so cool. Morgan's Assassin by John Whitledge. Yeah, a crime novel, and the cover is just amazing. I mean, how many? Oops, see, they say sorry. Uh, how many modern? This is from 1973. Crime novels have people with bow and arrows. You got bow and arrows there, and the guy here has bow and arrows. You can't really see it, but love the artwork, and yeah, I'm a collector of stuff like this. So, two more pulp novels or pulp fiction. Guess I'm just a spot boy. He pointed it out that it's called pulp fiction where he's from, Canada, maybe America as well, but I just like to call them sleazy novels because they have a sort of air of sleaziness about them. But anyway, two novels by Harry Kemmelman. First one is Friday the Rabbi Slept Late. They're both sort of detective novels, and the main character is a Jewish American guy. Love the drawing. And then also The 9 Mile Walk by Harry Kemmelman. And again, I really enjoy that drawing. Murder mysteries, and I really, really like them. They're easy to get through, 160 pages. So that's it. That's my update. Um, Leave some comments. I'm getting more comments, by the way. More people watching the book videos. I already mentioned Guess I'm Just a Spot Boy. I'm going to give a shout out to Rob, who always comments. You always do, Rob. Really, you're just one of the best. And there's a lot more, but I forgot. Anyway, take care and read some books.